Okay. Good day, everybody. This is Brian Terrian. Appreciate your patience. We had a slight technical difficulty in starting our live presentation today, but we are here. Today, we're going to talk about what income affects your disability benefits, and this will apply to you folks that are trying to get approved, and also for those of you that are already approved. And as we have in the past, my confidant is here with me, Jam, and our special guest from last week is back as well. We're waiting for you to turn your camera on so we can see you, Jam.
You as well.
Oh.
Hi, everyone.
All right. There's my camera. Hopefully it's coming on here. Okay, good. So, Jim, if you would just show how Cassie is dressed up for the event today for everybody before we get started. Check this out, folks. All dressed up for the show. Nice. That's good.
Hi, everyone.
Good. So we're going to go through what income affects your benefits. We're going to take some time and address your individual questions as well today. One of the things I just wanted to point out in the news this week is United Healthcare is waiving some of their pre-authorization requirements. So I know many of you are on United Healthcare for your healthcare benefits through Medicare. So that will make it easier for you in some instances where you may not have to do that. So just keep an eye on that or contact United Healthcare on the back of your card. Just turn it around and call the member services number. All right, so if you're new here, welcome to the Disability Digest. We focus on doing three things: helping people get their disability benefits approved fast, help keep them, help you maximize them. We believe that you're entitled to all of your benefits, and we do this work at no charge. And we also provide a customized approach that you can learn about at the end of the presentation today to help you streamline it. All right, Jam, you ready to go? You're going to put some questions in the...
I did.
Okay, all right. So first of all, what income affects your benefits? There's several different types of income that do, and there's some that do not affect your benefits. And the difference is in one category is like what is earned income, like what's earned income and what is unearned income. So I want to start with that first. I'm just going to share my screen here and bring up the regulation that I have. So, and it's based on substantial gainful activity. So if you're looking at doing some work and you want to know if your income is going to count, and these links are all below in the show notes today. The first thing you need to consider is the work that you're doing and the activity that you're doing generating the income. Is it substantial? So an example of traditional work would be somebody that is doing like customer service work, or like Jam is here, we're working together. She's actually engaged in working. And when she stops working or I stop working, then the income process starts. So that's SGA, that's gainful activity. Now, maybe you're freelancing or maybe you're doing other type of work. So that income definitely counts towards the amounts. So let's pivot a little bit onto like what are the amounts that you have to be concerned about, and that's not the focus of today's event, but I do want to spend some time on it because I'm sure folks are out there thinking about it. Just hang on here while I get the correct amount up. Okay, so for those of you that are going through the disability approval process, and again, this link is below. The regulation says that you can earn up to $1,470 right here for 2023. And if you're below that, then technically you can apply for disability. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get approved when you're working and earning money, even over in the $1,000 range. It makes it really hard to get a case approved. There's other videos and work that we've done on that, but that's the SGA amount. So any work that you're doing, that you're engaged like Jam or I right now, then that's the amount. Now, if you're already approved, there's a different regulation. This is super confusing for people. And this one I'm going to put up on the screen right now. And for this year, when we scroll all the way down here, if you're approved for disability, you can earn $1,050 a month and up to that, and have no impact on your benefits. When you start to earn over that, then your benefits could be reduced, eventually removed. So when people ask me how much money they can make, that's the figure that I give them. Okay. So there's some other types of income that are unearned that you should take into also consider, which is, let's say that you have a short-term disability or long-term disability. That's not earned income. You're not working for it. It's something that you paid for. Veterans disability benefits, pensions, same category. Unearned income. Rental income, insurance residuals, investments, items like that are not earned income as well. So what I'm going to pull up here is some information from the IRS that outlines what is earned income. And on page 4 of this, which you may not be able to see, but you can look at it later after the show, but it outlines in IRS language here what substantial gainful activity is. So from a tax purpose, and it says substantial gainful activity is a performance of significant duties over a reasonable period of time while working for pay or profit, full-time work or part-time work done at the employer's convenience. So I'm in hopes it's consistent with the explanation that I gave you. So that's what the IRS has to say about it. The next thing that I want to go through is what the IRS regulation is for unearned income, and what unearned income is in the IRS's eyes is income such as taxable interest, dividends, capital gains distribution, unemployment compensation, pension, annuities, distribution of unearned income from a trust, etc. So how this works when you file your taxes is your income needs to be categorized properly, so that it's showing as unearned income. And if your accountant doesn't do it properly, then that could cause a problem if you're filing taxes independently. Okay. So for those of you, I see people are piling in here. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about what income affects your benefits. And then we're going to take some specific questions, and just note what Jam has put a few probing questions that we would like to know from you folks in the comments, right? Few other things I want to point out. If you are receiving some types of income or benefits like nutritional assistance, SNAP program, housing assistance, or maybe you're bartering for something, or you received a gift card with money on it, that type of that doesn't count. That's unearned income that you receive. Now, one thing to make note of all of this, and this is important, folks, is this applies to your Social Security disability benefits. If you are a Social Security disability recipient and you're also receiving Medicare, Medicaid, or maybe you didn't qualify for Social Security disability and you're just receiving SSI, then the income that I'm talking about, the unearned income and the other income, and the allowed amounts are going to be different. And the best way that I can explain that is it's on a case-by-case basis. So I don't have a general guideline for you like I do with disability, is to get with a benefit counselor. And you can get a benefit counselor through vocational rehabilitation. You can get one through the Centers for Independent Living. And they'll help you understand, like, okay, if you're going to have an income threshold, how much is it? There's also a lot of other benefits if you're an SSI recipient, where how you can have your money managed. Remember last week, Jam, somebody brought up a card that they had their payments were being directed to, and because their payments were being
Right.
yeah, something express. I thought that was a great tip.
Yeah, American Express card.
No, it wasn't American Express. It had Express in it.
Oh,
But it wasn't American Express.
okay.
So anyway, so listen, what I'd like to, I just want to hit the highlights. You have earned income, unearned income, and that concept applies to getting your benefits and keeping your benefits. The unearned income does not count. The earned income does count. If you're going through the approval process, you can earn up to $1,470 and apply. If you're already approved, then it's $1,050. So
I remember it's Direct Express.
Direct Express. Yes. Thank you, Jan. Direct
Sure.
Express. Okay, so let's take some questions from folks out there. Got a great crowd here today. Thanks for joining. Patrick, Dave, Christine. Hello, hello. Okay.
Yes, so let's start with Kim Fuller's question. I have a friend who would like me to help her with her accounting, but I'm afraid of having any income.
Well, you can have income. We just went through it. So, and then that income, if you're just doing it like freelancing, unless she's going to pay you a gargantuan amount of money to do her taxes, or bookkeeping, that could be a good gig for you. Flexible.
Right. And from Knocking Butts, hello team, is there a video about SSDI and life insurance? What does the government cover if the recipient dies? What do their dependents get? Is life insurance necessary in SSDI?
There isn't a video on life insurance, and there's survivors benefits associated with Social Security disability. But I haven't done a video on that. That's a good question.
Right.
If anybody else has some life insurance associated with disability tips or points, let's hear them.
Yeah, here's one from Michael. I'm in Michigan and on the 7th month waiting for an answer at reconsideration stage. Do you think I should be getting an answer soon?
Predicting Social Security's timetable for decisions is really difficult. I would check in your online account and see what the percentage of completion is. I believe they're doing that for reconsideration.
Right. With the unstable solvency of Social Security benefits, I would avoid working unless you absolutely need to. Statement.
So the statement with so with the questionable stability of Social Security, the
Mm-hmm.
suggestion is to avoid working.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
the disability fund is good for 75 years. It's different than the general fund. In the last information that was released, like within 4 or 5 months ago. They want to merge them though, that could be a problem.
right. Here's a question. Are we still hiring?
Always.
Yeah. And for Warren Davis, November, I netted an X amount of commission on a fledgling business I have while on SSDI, and in the TTW program in filing income taxes. Will I subject myself to scrutiny from Social Security? I didn't make any income.
So that's a business that you have. It's going to come back to how your accountant classifies that. If that was an asset that you owned and you sold it, then my understanding it would be similar to having like a rental property that you had and you sold it and you had the proceeds. It wasn't, you weren't engaged in the work every day to make that work. It sounds like it's something that you did in the past.
Right. Okay. On my account, it says the DDS completed my medical review, and now a representative in my city has started a final review to make sure I still meet the non-medical requirements for benefits. Does
Is
this
the
mean that I passed the medical review? I submitted my forms but never got a call, or did a physical evaluation?
well, I would say it's a good sign. Is this the gentleman or individual in Michigan or somebody else?
Somebody else, Shayla Hamilton.
Okay. Yeah, if you pass the medical review, that's the hardest part. Then the next pieces are confirming your work credits and seeing if there's anything else going on. So I consider that good news.
Right. This was from Shrinking Jan. Considering applying for medical retirement from Calpers, also currently receiving long-term disability from past employer disability insurance. How would that affect Social Security disability insurance? Still in initial application.
I don't see where it would. The first benefit I'm not familiar with. Can you read the first part of that again?
Um, Considering applying for medical retirement from Calpers.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not sure what that is, but if you have if you have a private medical benefit, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, like short-term disability, long-term disability, veterans benefits, things like that, those do not impact your Social Security disability benefit amount.
Right. Okay, this one's from Mickey. Does anyone know how long you have to wait to hear anything back after you submit the short form online for recertification?
So the continuing disability review, I've heard it referred to before as that.
Mm,
And
something new.
many people report that they never hear back. So, and some people say that, well, okay, you're denied, or we need more information. So the general tip from the resident expert attorney James Brown that we did the continuing disability course with, is to just leave it, and no news is good news, and don't call or rock the boat or anything. That's the advice he provides.
All right. I got a short form from ShortForm CDR back in February, mailed it out in February also. Did it online, have not heard anything back. How long does it usually take?
Yeah, same
I
question.
guess same question. Yeah.
Yeah, same question. Yeah, oftentimes you're not going to hear it all.
Okay. From Ryan, I was approved SSDI February 23. I'm
Mhm.
45. I want to work part-time but not screw up my approval. I think if I do anything, they will take it away. But I need extra money, chronic pains, depression, anxiety, fibro.
Yeah, I mean, I I I can say two things. One is the rules, the regulations. Understand the rules, and again, the regulations are below um in the show notes. And I have been running the Disability Digest since 2006, and we've had workers here that have been disability recipients. It's been one of the keys to our success. And we've had some that have had CDRs, but they make money every month, and it's just within the guidelines, and it's not a problem. And if it is a problem, then you can just keep documentation. For those that are really concerned about it, like here at the Disability Digest, we have a benefit protection program that we offer members who are clients of ours for insurance on Medicare. So it doesn't cost you anything, and you get the free benefit protection package. So if you do get a CDR, then you have access to our legal team to help you get through it. Could save you like $4,000 or $5,000, to that you would, if you can find somebody to do your CDR, right? So that's an option for you.
All right. Do you need to have an examination during reconciliation?
Reconsideration, it's rare that you have or that you are asked to do one. Usually at initial, 72% of the people are asked.
Okay.
Good questions today.
Yeah, here's one from Tracy. Can you get dental help with it? Is making your health worse? I'm in the state of Georgia and Medicaid only pays to pull teeth, but having jaw and other dental problems that are making my health worse.
Are you a Social Security disability recipient?
Hmm. I think she's on SSI.
Okay. That would be helpful to know. If you're not on Social Security disability, then you're subject to what the local state Medicaid offers. You can buy some extra like dental insurance, but it's still, when you get very expensive, like crowns, caps, replacements, it's tough. Yeah. So let us know about if you're on Social Security disability.
No response yet. How much money can you earn if you're an SSI, Brian?
So that depends on it's a case by case situation. With SSI, there is a deeming equation that's used based on the current assets that you have, which could be anything from cash to jewelry to, they go through everything. And so that's your baseline, which I don't know what it is. And then they allow you to make money up to a certain threshold. So to find out what that would be, as mentioned earlier, contact a benefit counselor at either Centers for Independent Living or through vocational rehabilitation, and they'll evaluate your situation. You can call Social Security and do that, but right now with the service levels and their experience, I just am not confident you're going to get the right information.
All right. Okay. Patrick Schmidt, I have a question. I filed for SSD shortly after I was involved in a car accident. I had no idea what I was doing. I hired an attorney and filed a reconsideration appeal. I contacted the adjudicator and asked him. He received my new adult disability form and work history and updated medical reports. I contacted the adjudicator and got his supervisor, and she said she just needed info on neck. Uh, which I broke at the C5 and had vestibular disease, so I have frequent falls. The supervisor told me what she needed. It had a good thing, or is that a good thing or bad thing? Sorry for the long-winded chat.
No, I mean, it's good that you were able to speak with somebody. I think that's fantastic. They're looking probably for some type of MRI or scan or to visually see what's gone on. So they want to like validate the severity of it. I would say that's good news. Yeah.
All right. Okay, for self-employed accountable income test, what date is the start date? SSA count towards 24 months of being self-employed. Is it from the submitting application or after the 5-month waiting period?
I don't know about this 24-month. I don't know about that. It's that I've never been asked. I'm new at doing this 17 years. So maybe I've missed something, but I'll speak to it this way. If you're working and doing something self-employed, the numbers that I shared before, for those that are going through the approval process and those are approved, it's the same numbers, but when you're self-employed, you can write down your expenses. So it would be your net after your expenses that are going to be the income that's going to be counted towards your SGA. So if you have $1,000 on average that you're grossing a month, but you have $200 in expenses, then it's $800 that will be counted towards that 1,050.
Okay. What is direct express? Okay, we've tackled that. Joe, do you need to have another exam during reconciliation or is this
Yeah,
reconsideration?
that sounds like the same question, and the answer is not often. Typically not, I would say is a better answer. Great group today. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Yeah. From Rick, I'm on SSDI. However, I heard that if you earn under the SGA, that could still be considered as eligible to work when a CDR comes around. Please advise.
Well, I mean, my opinion holds with what the rules are. It could be considered, but the rules are the rules. And even if you have a CDR, they have to prove that you are not eligible, right? So if you follow the work that we do here and do the right things with your doctors, make sure your medical is in place and have your earnings in line and documented, then that's what's allowed.
All right. From Dave, I am meeting with Social Security on April 25th to discuss my work situation and hours. What advice can you provide me?
Bring some documentation with you, pay stubs, right? I'm curious if you're approved or not approved. What's going on with Cassie there? Looks like licking her chops or something.
I think she's thirsty. Might have to put her down. Okay. Eric, I'm an SSDI and work a part-time job where I get paid weekly. Do you know how Social Security takes into an account where there are 5 pay weeks versus 4 in regards to the 1050 limit. Is that considered going over?
Yeah, that's interesting. So I know of another individual that had a similar question about this. And, to be candid with you, I don't know how it works down to that detail. But in her situation, it was viewed as more of an average, because some months have, different amount of days in them. So I would look at it more of like a big picture, like over a 3-month period, 5-month period, and what's that look like? And just manage your time accordingly to stay within the range.
Okay, from Susie, if I'm an SSI and self-employed, how can I find out how much I can earn?
So we have reviewed that in the beginning of this presentation, and if you weren't here for that, then you're welcome to watch the replay, which will be available after the show, and the links to all the regulations are in the show notes.
Okay. From Michael, I'm aware that VA disability income does not prevent me from receiving SSDI, but I am granted a hearing. Will the judge still ask for this information at all?
Yeah, they might. One of the things that I've found in working with veterans, and we work like pretty much anybody that comes here, it's 100%. We'll do whatever we can to help them, but a lot of the Social Security judges are ex-vets or vets. They wouldn't be ex-vets, they're veterans. So one might say that's a good thing, but the challenge has been with myself and people we've worked with and others in like a networking group. I'm in a networking group with 70 different disability representatives, is that the judges have some bias that they're working, they may have a rating, and somebody's coming to them trying to get Social Security disability benefits, and they're like, you know what, I'm working, dude. You can get back out there and have at it. So it's a bit off topic, but that is one thing that could come up if you're using a legal team. Then you'll know who your judge is, and I don't know if you can get background on that detail, but just be aware of that.
Right. Is your SGA averaged over a 12-month period or looked at each month? If I earn more than 1050 a few months, but less than in others?
If you're working independently and filing taxes, it's based on your tax return, because like anybody who runs a business, it's gonna, typically it's ups and downs. You're gonna have some months that are better than another. So it's based on your returns.
Okay. Right. From Easy, I'm being paid to care for my 87-year-old mother who recently moved in with me. I'm just now getting my pay going back to the end of January. I haven't reported yet because I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Okay. I'm familiar with these working arrangements, like through the county or state social assistance programs. And one of the things that I've seen it go two ways, where the gross income is considered as income. And then I've also seen that some of it is not, because you have expenses related to taking care of this individual, like food and other things that you can write down as expenses. So I don't have the answer for you, but my encouragement would be to find out if that income is taxable income, and how it is viewed as earned, unearned. Is all of it earned or unearned? I don't have the answer for that, but that's what you want to find out. And you can find out from the person that's paying you. Better would be from an accountant or a tax advisor, so you know how to manage that.
Okay. With solvency of benefits in question right now, they're looking to save money, work at your own risk. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, all right.
State.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it is work at your own risk for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. From Saint PR, hello. Is it a good sign for the judge to ask only 3 hypothetical questions and at the end told me that he will get a decision within a week, or so I don't have to wait long?
Difficult to predict the mindset of a judge with that little bit of information, but if the judge said he's going to provide a decision within a week, so you don't have to wait long, that's not typical. It usually takes them sometimes 60 days to write a decision. So I'm going to go with that's good news.
Right. From Kathleen Brown, I've tried to apply for work with you, Brian and Jam, through email, but didn't get any feedback. What is your process for hiring?
Yeah, so right now we have a backlog of applicants. So if you've applied and it's in there and you haven't heard from us, then I would just give it some time so that we can go through and have a look at it. But thank you for letting us know and thank you for your interest.
Yeah, from Pamela Ward, will restitution impact your disability?
Restitution impact. Can you give me more information of what restitution is?
All right.
What the situation is?
Okay, let's move on. First, for more, and to clarify, I made commissions like a realtor in November that were high X amount, but have not netted money above SGA before or after. After filing income taxes, will I come under SSDI scrutiny?
Well, if your annual income from that and other commission is below the SGA, then you wouldn't. If it is, then it's possible. There's people out there that have been earning money over the allowed amount that haven't been flagged yet.
Okay.
All right.
And follow up on that, I am on the TTW program and reported the net income to Social Security, but wonder if it will still result in an investigation.
Mm,
Okay. From
difficult to
Susie,
predict.
right. From Susie, SSI has scheduled a phone interview with me to review my case. What kinds of things will they ask?
Are you in the application process? Or is this for a CDR, continuing disability review? I expect they're going to be the same. You've got to prove they qualify, but I just would like to know.
Okay, no response yet. From Eric, I'm on SSDI. I work part-time job where I get paid weekly. Do you know how Social Security takes into an account where there are, oh, sorry, this has been covered. Hello, are the income amounts Brian stated during application process pre-tax or net income?
So are they pre-tax or net income? So if you're doing something on your own, like you're a freelancer, then it's going to be net after expenses. If you're doing something as an employee, then it's your gross.
Right. Okay. Is there an age at which they no longer do CDRs?
Yeah, your full retirement age. So the full retirement age, you no longer have CDRs, and then you do not have the income restrictions. Good questions today, huh, Jen?
Yeah.
So I see, I don't know if Susie Reed put CDR in there. Is she the one that had the question? Oh, she's up for a review. Is she the one
She
that,
is up for a review.
and is she the one that's going to be getting a phone call? Is that the question?
Yeah, CDR.
Hmm.
Up for a review.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna ask because I'm not familiar with, I've not known people to get a phone call from Social Security for their CDR. So I would just be prepared with the information that has been requested from you, like the dates of your doctor's visits. They might be asking you if you did any other activities. That type of information. Yeah. I would also spend some time understanding how to explain that you still qualify, like what your limitations are. There's information on this channel. You can type in the keyword CDR. Or if you're a member at the Disability Digest, we have a how to survive your CDR course. You can just request that.
All right, here's a question from Chrissy O'Hagan. My Super Walter has been offered a little gig as a doggy dog actor of sorts for a service dog series as a good example of how service dogs behave in public. He will be paid. How could that affect me?
That's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
So because the checks would need to be written to somebody other than your dog, because I don't expect the dog has a bank account. So that's going to be your income. Yeah, yeah. Is
Okay.
it a service dog?
Yeah, service dog.
Yeah, just so that you know, maybe you do already, your expense related to a service dog is deductible. So that's food, vet bills, transportation, mani, petty. Is that what they call them for dogs? Probably not.
No, it's grooming.
Grooming.
Okay. I found that I have unclaimed property, mostly all paychecks and utility deposits from when I had my former married name. So I suppose I couldn't be found. The total is more than the max. Is that okay? From Christy.
Well, okay, ask yourself the question, is that earned income? Are you going somewhere, going to a job, get engaged with something to work, right?
I think so. All paychecks,
Yeah.
utility
So
deposits.
it's work that things that you've done in the past, it's not, you know, it's not a current job. So there
Right.
wouldn't be an issue with that.
Okay, from Mickey, if your condition is not changing or getting better or worse, what's the minimum I should go to the doctor according to SSDI to not risk losing my SSDI?
Yeah, it's a great question. They have this term called compliance, and compliance is what the doctor has put in place for a treatment program. And you're expected to follow that. So if your doctor says, all right, well, listen, this is your primary care doctor. I only need to see you once a year, and you go see your rheumatologist, you know, twice a year, and you do that, then you are checking the boxes and in compliance. Same, also be aware of like medication and other suggested treatment. You know, if they suggest stuff that you may not want to take or treatments that you may not want to do, then make sure that they're clearly explained as to why and agreed upon and with your doctor and put in your notes.
Okay. What is the definition of income? Because from the law, we all make compensation, not income.
So there's earned income and unearned income that I covered at the top of the presentation. And the links to the difference are below the show notes. But basically, earned income, again, is something that you do when you're engaged in the activity. Unearned income is something where you're not engaged, like rental property, annuity dividends, investments, that type of stuff.
Okay. Is reconsideration the same as CDR?
No. Reconsideration is a step in the approval process. Your continuing disability review, or CDR, is once you're approved, you look in your award letter and it's going to say you're going to be reviewed at whatever the increment is, a year, 18 months, 3 years, 5 years. That's your CDR.
Okay.
2 more questions, Jam. We got to wrap up.
Okay, from Jocelyn. Hello, I have been an LTD with my job for 2 years and Social Security disability for 1 year. Social Security also sent me to their doctors. I was approved for SSD with the first application. I don't understand why their doctors only make enough to pay my bills and medical treatment, so I have to do some type of work. But due to my physical limitations, I can't do much. Does Social Security help recipients find work new to this LTD?
They do have programs that help you to work. That's if you look on our YouTube channel to the live events, so when you look at our YouTube channel, there's videos, you can toggle on that, and then there's playlists, and one of the tabs is live. If you go back in January, there was one of these events was done on the Ticket to Work program. In your situation, because you're new at this is my suggestion, and it is covered in that event, is you don't need to have a structured Ticket to Work program to start earning income. Actually, I suggest that you don't go that route, because they're looking for you to go back into work on a full-time basis. And many are not. And even if you are, proving that you can just get up and get somewhere and do something on a part-time basis on a side hustle is a step in the right direction that will increase your odds.
All right. Okay, I think I screwed up and gave the amount on my 1099, not my IRS or net, and I'm now being reviewed. How do I correct this? Is it too late?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a tax guy. That's a tough one. Sorry, I don't have an idea for you. Either go back to your accountant if you have one, would be my best suggestion. Yep.
Right. That's it for last 2 questions.
Okay, wonderful, good. A few announcements that I want to make. We will not be having a live next week for a very good reason. I will be visiting Jam and also Curl, and we will be doing some fun stuff. So we won't be available at this time. So we will be back here in 2 weeks with a new show. So, but I'd like to thank everybody for turning out here. If you're going to be celebrating the holiday this weekend, Easter, wish you and your family a peaceful holiday, or Ramadan if you're celebrating that. And it's a privilege for us to come out here and answer these questions. You guys are great. You're engaging. We learn a lot from you, so I'm grateful for that. So if you are new here, or we haven't heard from you in a while, then you're welcome to watch all these videos and live events and help get your benefits, keep them and maximize them. But the very best way that we can help you is if you join us as a member, or update us as a member in Jam, if you just put our link in the chat there. And the reason for that is there's no charge for the membership, but when you complete the evaluation, it helps us understand like where you're at. Let's say, for example, you're trying to get approved. Maybe you have applied and you're waiting for your benefits. There's certain things and information that we have that we can get you that will help you at that stage in the process. Or maybe you just got approved and you want to understand what your award letter is like and what you're entitled to. Then that's going to be different information. So that's how the membership can help you when you come in and complete that. And if you haven't heard, or we haven't heard from you in a while and things have changed, then that's another opportunity for you to come in and get the latest information for the next step. So, all right. I want to thank Cassie for participating in today's event 2 weeks in a row, girl.
Sure.
And Jam, as always, I'm grateful for you and your assistance here. And great. We'll be back in 2 weeks, everybody. Make it a great day.
Yes. See you guys. Thank you.